Picture this: you're at work and your boss consistently belittles you. Imagine that every day you're subjected to a constant stream of criticism, your achievements overlooked, your mistakes magnified. This is the reality for many people dealing with a narcissistic boss. But what does narcissistic behavior look like in a boss? Well, let's delve deeper. A narcissistic boss often displays a lack of empathy. They're unable to understand or relate to the feelings of their employees. This can manifest as dismissive behavior, trivializing your concerns, or an inability to acknowledge your emotional well-being. Next, a sense of entitlement. This could mean expecting special treatment, disregarding the rules, or believing they're superior to everyone else. This boss might take credit for others' work, showing no remorse or acknowledgement for the true authors. Remember, a narcissist believes that the world revolves around them. Thirdly, a narcissistic boss has an insatiable need for admiration. They crave constant praise and recognition, often seeking it at the expense of others. This can lead to a hostile work environment where employees are pitted against each other for the boss's approval. Let's consider a real-life example. Think of a boss who, regardless of your countless hours of hard work and dedication, never acknowledges your effort. Instead, they're quick to point out a minor mistake, blowing it out of proportion. They may even go as far as taking credit for your successes, while simultaneously blaming you for their failures. Or perhaps you've experienced a boss who, rather than taking responsibility for their actions, shifts the blame onto others. They refuse to apologize, and instead, they manipulate the situation to appear as the victim. These behaviors are more than just poor management. They're indicative of a deeper issue: narcissism. So, when you find yourself in an environment where your boss exhibits these behaviors, you might be dealing with a narcissist. Listen to the story of Jane, who once found herself working under a narcissistic boss. Jane was a bright, ambitious worker, eager to impress and dedicated to her job. But she soon found herself in a challenging situation. Her boss, a charismatic and seemingly successful leader, began to show signs of narcissism. He was always right, never took responsibility for his mistakes, and he belittled Jane and her colleagues constantly, often in public. Jane felt a gnawing discomfort, but couldn't quite put her finger on the cause. She started to dread going to work, feeling like she was walking on eggshells all the time. Her confidence dwindled, her self-esteem plummeted, and she felt increasingly isolated. Recognizing the problem was the first step. Jane began researching narcissistic behavior and found that her boss's actions matched the symptoms perfectly. The constant need for admiration, the lack of empathy, the exploiting of others, the arrogant demeanor. It all made sense. This realization was both a relief and a new source of anxiety for Jane. Armed with this knowledge, Jane decided to take action. First, she tried to put up boundaries, limiting her communication with her boss to strictly professional matters. She also stopped responding to his attempts to belittle or provoke her. This was an enormous challenge, as her boss would often try to push her buttons to get a reaction. Jane also sought support from her colleagues. She discovered that she wasn't alone. Many of her coworkers had also noticed their boss's toxic behavior and were struggling with it. They started to share experiences and strategies, creating a support network that helped them weather the storm. Jane also sought professional help. She started seeing a therapist who helped her understand that her boss's behavior wasn't a reflection of her worth or abilities. The therapist also equipped her with strategies to handle the emotional toll of working with a narcissist. Despite the challenges, Jane was determined to survive this toxic work environment. She focused on self-care, ensuring she had time to rest and recharge. She also took up meditation to manage her stress levels, and she reminded herself daily that her boss's behavior was about his shortcomings, not hers. But ultimately, Jane decided to leave the company. It was a tough decision, but she realized that her mental health was more important than any job. She left with her head held high, knowing that she had done her best to navigate a difficult situation. And today, Jane is thriving in a new job, with a supportive boss and a healthy work environment. She has become a passionate advocate for mental health in the workplace, sharing her experiences and encouraging others to prioritize their well-being. Jane's story is a testament to the fact that it is possible to navigate a toxic work environment successfully. What can you do if you find yourself under the thumb of a narcissistic boss? Well, the first thing to remember is that you're not alone. Many people find themselves in this uncomfortable situation, but there are strategies you can employ to navigate this tricky terrain. Let's dive into it. One of the key strategies is setting personal boundaries. Narcissists often have a knack for overstepping boundaries, so it's crucial to establish yours and stick to them. This might mean setting limits on when and how your boss can contact you outside of work hours, or standing firm when they attempt to dump their responsibilities onto you. For instance, consider Jane, a marketing executive. When her narcissistic boss tried to offload his work onto her during her personal time, she gently but firmly reminded him of her designated work hours and her commitment to maintaining a work-life balance. It was uncomfortable at first, but with time, her boss began to respect her boundaries. Another strategy is focusing on self-care. Working under a narcissistic boss can be emotionally draining. It's important to take care of your mental, physical, and emotional health. This could involve taking regular breaks during the workday, engaging in physical activity, practicing mindfulness, or simply doing things that make you happy. Let's take the example of Mark, a software engineer. He found himself constantly stressed due to his narcissistic boss. To cope, he started meditating every morning and going for a run after work. These self-care practices helped him manage his stress levels and maintain his emotional equilibrium. Seeking support is another crucial strategy. This can come from colleagues who may be experiencing the same issues, or from a professional, such as a therapist or counselor. Sharing your experiences and feelings with others can provide a sense of relief and validation. It also helps to know that you're not alone in this struggle. Consider Lisa, a customer service representative. She found solace in confiding in her colleagues about the narcissistic behaviors of their boss. They formed a support group where they shared their experiences and strategies for dealing with their boss. This collective strength made them feel less isolated and more empowered. Lastly, remember that you cannot change a narcissist. Your energy is better spent on changing how you respond to them. Instead of trying to please them or change their behavior, focus on what you can control: your actions, your responses, and your attitude. This shift in focus can help you regain a sense of control and reduce feelings of helplessness. In conclusion, navigating a narcissistic boss involves setting personal boundaries, focusing on self-care, and seeking support. It's about empowering yourself and maintaining your mental, emotional, and physical health. It's about understanding that you cannot change a narcissist, but you can change how you respond to them. And most importantly, it's about remembering that you deserve respect and kindness, no matter who your boss is. Remember, it's not about changing the narcissist. It's about changing how you respond to them. After leaving a toxic work environment, it's crucial to prioritize recovery and self-care. Leaving a toxic work environment can often feel like stepping out of a fog. The world seems brighter, but the after effects linger like residual smoke. The journey to recovery may seem daunting, yet it is profoundly worthwhile. Let's start with therapy. Therapy isn't just about sitting on a couch talking about your feelings. It's about seeking professional help to navigate your emotions and experiences and learning new coping mechanisms. For instance, Jane, a former employee of a toxic corporation, sought therapy after quitting her job. She was struggling with feelings of inadequacy and guilt. Through therapy, she was able to understand that these feelings were not her fault, but a result of the toxic environment she was in. Over time, she learned to separate her self-worth from her work and started to regain her confidence. Next, let's talk about physical health. Our bodies often bear the brunt of our emotional stress. Therefore, it's crucial to pay attention to your physical well-being. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep can do wonders for your mental health. Take the example of Mark, who left a high-stress job and found solace in yoga and meditation. He also started cooking healthy meals at home, focusing on nourishing his body. This focus on physical health helped Mark to reduce his anxiety and improve his overall well-being. Now, onto the topic of finding fulfilling work. Leaving a toxic job doesn't mean you have to give up on your career. It might be an opportunity to seek work that truly aligns with your values and passions. Remember Sarah, who left a toxic work environment and decided to start her own business? She always had a passion for sustainable fashion, and her experience pushed her to pursue that passion. Today, she runs a successful ethical clothing brand, and she loves every moment of it. Recovery after leaving a toxic work environment can also be about reconnecting with yourself. Spend time doing things you love, whether it's reading a book, gardening, or painting. Rediscover the joys that were overshadowed by the toxicity of your previous work environment. Remember that recovery is not linear. There will be good days and bad days. There might be moments when you doubt your decision to leave, but always remember why you left in the first place. You chose your well-being over a toxic environment. You chose yourself, and that's the most important thing. As you embark on this journey of healing and recovery, remember that it's okay to ask for help. Reach out to your loved ones, join support groups, or seek professional help. You are not alone in this journey. Recovery is a journey, but with the right steps, you can find your way back to a healthy work-life balance. Remember, your value is not defined by your work, but by who you are as a person. So take care of your mental and physical health, find fulfilling work, and most importantly, take care of yourself. You're worth it. Navigating a toxic work environment can be challenging, but remember, you're not alone. We've journeyed together through this video, unmasking the narcissistic boss, sharing real-life experiences, and providing strategies to navigate such a boss. We've also explored ways to recover after leaving a toxic work environment, all aimed at helping you regain your mental health and thrive. Let's quickly recap. First, we demystified the narcissistic boss, shedding light on their manipulative tactics, their lack of empathy, and their constant need for admiration. It's essential to recognize these signs early on to protect your mental health. We then moved on to sharing real-life experiences. These stories, though diverse, have a common thread. Navigating a narcissistic boss is an uphill battle, but it's a battle that can be won, and many have done so. Next, we discussed strategies to navigate a narcissistic boss. We talked about setting boundaries, developing resilience, and seeking support from trusted colleagues or professionals. Remember, it's about preserving your mental health while also striving to maintain a professional relationship. We also touched on recovery after leaving a toxic work environment. We emphasized the importance of self-care, seeking professional help if needed, and reconnecting with your passions and interests. It's about healing and moving forward. But this is just the start. Each of you has a unique story to tell, and we encourage you to share your experiences in the comments. Your stories can inspire others, provide comfort, and serve as a reminder that no one is alone in this journey. Our goal is to create a safe space where we can learn, grow, and support each other. So join us in this mission. Let's continue this conversation. Let's continue to educate, inspire, and uplift each other. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content on navigating difficult work situations. Stay strong and take care of yourselves.